Hey guys, and I'm back with an update to Ignister right now. I'm in Plat 1. I grinded some games. I dropped back to like Golden and I went back to Plat. It felt really bad going back to Gold because I think like my first few matches were like Blue Eyes and then Dark Magician, and I was like, dude, I can't. I feel really bad going back to Gold with this deck because I was like, I feel bad, like, you know, like bullying people with those decks because they're just having fun and stuff. But I finally got to Plat 1. Definitely a struggle. Like, I feel like I've learned a lot from this deck, like in Plat 1. Definitely you need a lot of practice, like a lot of you know, I learned my deck on the way to like Plat 1, and it's pretty cool. And I've seen, I'll show some footage, but if you do make a rival, so if you're usually going first, you're usually okay, but if you're going second with like Drytron or like other like meta decks that have a lot of negates, you might not be able to get to our rival. So like usually most of the time, like depending on your hand traps too, like if you draw Maxi while they have Drytron, you're going second and they have Drytron, usually you might be fine. So definitely depends on your hand traps, and you know, going first, going second, those are very important. And yeah, so I was looking at my stats and I was like, oh, I have like almost like a 69% win rate. I was like, oh, this is funny. Let me see if I have the data right here. Here we go, 94 to 64. I was like, wow, that's pretty good, actually. I was like pretty impressed. But yeah, it definitely flip-flops. Like, it depends if you're going first, if you make a rival, if they stop any of your, like, you know, they have hand traps that stop you. But once a rival is on the board, you're honestly like free to play, honestly. But yeah, here is the updated list. I might cut some more because I am at 43, but I feel like with this format you just don't really know what's happening, and I'm already like very like, I don't know, like I might cut the cross out because I keep drawing it like twice, but I do want another Nibiru because I also keep drawing Nibiru. I'm like, okay, well, anyway, you know, if you know Ignister, my last video I kind of explained how you play Ignister, so the next clips will be like matches I've gone through. I didn't show much of like the other decks because I didn't save the replay, so I was like, oh, okay. But I forgot that Virtual World cannot out the rival once it's on board, so a lot of the meta decks can't really get rid of a rival. Like Eldlich can't get rid of a rival. I got through this 26 turn match, you'll see it in the video, where I learned a lot about Eldlich, because I didn't really understood what was happening, so I was like, I don't know what's happening, but there was a lot of stuff happening in that duel, but we got through it. So I was like, can't really out a rival. Eldlich isn't big enough to get rid of a rival, but yeah, just knowing your deck is very helpful. Definitely also hand traps. I do think a lot of people are not playing Droll. Like, there's not enough people playing Droll. Like, yeah, because Called By is at 2, which is like actually really good. It stops a lot of stuff, so it can also stop like Maxi or Droll too, so it stops a lot of the, you know, normal hand traps and stuff like that. So like I added Red Reboot just in case like I went against Eldlich, and then you'll see, and I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever. But yeah, you'll see some, like, I've realized some big plays with Droll, and I was like, hey, I mean, if you guys don't have this, then I don't know, like, like if you don't need Droll, it's better to just have it to stop other decks that need to draw and stuff, or need to get a lot of cards in their hand from like the deck to the hand. I think a lot of like the meta decks need to do that, so. But I don't know. But yeah, once you get a rival on the field, he's fine. He can usually kind of just deal with everything. And then you'll see like from all this text, I feel like they really should put unaffected by other card effects like first, like literally up here, because it's like in the middle and like everyone's like, oh, it's not affected, like, because I didn't really know how much is unaffected by, because you know you contribute it for Kaijus and stuff. I've lost, of course, when I have Kaijus and stuff like that. It can be fusion summoned. Usually, this is literally why I hate Cyber Dragons like right now, because I feel like that's the one that has Kaijus and it has the fusion that will use Arrival as tribute. So I'm usually like, you guys. But other than that, it plays through a lot of stuff. So, but the struggle is trying to get to Arrival, because a lot of people will have hand traps for you. Also, like Ghost Bell can also stop this deck, and you know you have a lot of like tech to use in order to kind of like what is it, to kind of mitigate like what your opponent can do to you, I guess. So like two of your biggest choke points would be getting Ignister Island from Infant and having Dark Templar revive your little blobs from the grave. So some interesting tech I've found is, you know, like Gachiri. If you have Gachiri on the field and then you use it as link summon material to like link someone into Dark Templar. I did it with like I think one of the videos will show that I did it when I did like Splash Mage and Gachiri was in the graveyard, because I had Donmari in hand. I keep getting Donmari in hand, and you're not supposed to, because that's your big Omni negate and it has to be in the graveyard. But anyway, like I sent Gachiri into the graveyard, and it was like Splash Mage, like a blob, and then Gachiri, and then you can target your Dark Templar so it's not affected by card effects. So if someone like either Ghost Bells you, or like, you know, DD Crow or any of the graveyard hand traps, you can still go on with it and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that works with Nibiru, but it probably does. I don't know. It hasn't happened yet, so but yeah, you'll see the matches where I did that. So you don't get interrupted by having Dark Templar, so you just make a rival. I've like considered making like Wind Pegasus along with Arrival, like using, you know, the Divine, Infant, and then going to Wind Pegasus and Arrival on the board, but it's usually not necessary, I feel like, because if they get rid of Arrival, they get rid of Arrival, you know? And usually the second monster is kind of a, usually the second monster is kind of holding Arrival back. I don't know. That's how I feel like, but maybe you guys have Cyber's Quantum instead of whatever I have here. Usually I like Security Dragon because you can tribute Nibiru to make Security Dragon, so that's helpful. And yeah, because usually if a rival goes out, then I usually make access code anyway. But yeah, you'll see some of the plays in there. But yeah, this is I didn't expect to go that far, because I feel like not a lot of people have been playing this deck in Platinum. So, like, I get it, it's really easy to negate stuff, like trying to not get to Arrival. That's why you have your hand traps. That's why I have those hand traps, and I don't have any of the other Ignister stuff, because the hand traps are very important in Plat, and like once you understand how those hand traps work, like you really just play better. But yeah, like going through this has like been a really good experience, and you've learned a lot about the deck as you're going through it. Like with the Eldlich one, I finally figured out that you can't pop Eldlich if the effect is up. Yeah, I didn't know that. Anyway, but I feel like people understand now. Like, oh, you can't really target around. Like, but yeah, you'll see some crazy matches. But it's been crazy. That Eldlich match was crazy. Like, I was like, my brain was like hurting. But yeah, like, I feel like this is a good format for this deck specifically, just because there's not, like, I feel like only Cyber Dragons really beats this deck, or like if you're going second against like Drytron that already has like 4 negates in the field. So here's also like some kind of tips on how to like play around Max C. You'll see in one of the matches that like you do have, when you have Max C, when they have Max C up and you're trying to get to somewhere good where you kind of minimize their advantage. If you draw a Droll and you're up to kind of like Splash Mage or Cyber Wicked, you're in a good spot. Because you can activate Droll and then they can't draw any more cards, and then you can keep going off with your combo. You either make Arrival or Access Code. Because you don't need any more searching in your deck. And when you have Droll up, you can't search from your deck, but they also can't, you know, get the advantage from Maxi. And I learned that by losing to Code Talkers, because I used it on myself. So yeah, it's interesting text. I like Droll on this format like a lot. So definitely consider your hand traps. I feel like this list right now, it definitely depends on how you play Ignister. If you have Cyber's Quantum, if you do like the Light Dragon at Ignister. I don't have that one because I think he's useless. Even if I need to search Picari, I don't, like, it's like whatever, I don't need it. Usually Update Jammer, Transcode, Access Code is also really good, so I use that one instead. If you use Cyber's Quantum Dragon, that one's okay. As you'll see too, people have Lava Golem. If they're playing Eldlich, I'm pretty sure they have Lava Golem. This is why I don't really like having like the second monster, because you can get Lava Golem. So, but you'll see in that match that they kind of just it went out of control. I swear. But like neither of us were like giving up. We're like whatever. I wasn't giving up because I know they can't, you know, they can't out their rival unless they have to, you know, basically give up something on their field, and then I can play like Access Code or something like that instead. But yeah, this is the deck. Definitely you can tweak it. I feel like the staples here, like the ratios are okay. Maybe you want another Bururu, I don't know. But definitely one Damari, one Gachiri. Like, I don't use any of the other Ignister ones because I feel like these are the only ones you need. But if you want to use the other ones, feel free, you know. But definitely the hand traps, like the hand traps are very dependent. You always want Maxi, you always want like Ash. I don't use Effect Veiler because I think this format, definitely with 2 called by, definitely not good for monsters. So I usually, like, I think maxing out on Impermanence is good. Maybe like Forbidden Droplet. If you have Droplet, you're against some like the good like meta decks would be pretty good, but you can also do Dark Ruler, but I'm not sure about this format with Dark Ruler. So, you know, we'll see. But yeah, this is the deck, and you'll see some of the duels. But yeah, hopefully you guys watch out for this deck. It's when you get to Arrival, it's pretty good. It's pretty good when you get to your big boy Arrival. Like, you can't target this guy. Maybe start carrying Kaijus. I don't know, but yeah, that's gonna be it. And well, I'll let the duels play out in the next few moments. But you guys enjoyed it, you know, tell me your thoughts, tell me how you're playing in Master Duel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.